Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and your bank account shows $50,000, but it can't buy you groceries. The ATM won't work. Your credit cards are declined everywhere. The dollar just stopped working. Sounds like a nightmare, right? But this has happened before in America during the Great Depression, and it's happening right now in countries like Venezuela, where hyperinflation hit 42,000%. What if I told you that when money fails, only three things actually matter for survival, and most Americans aren't prepared for any of them?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about something nobody wants to think about, but everyone should understand. What has real value when the financial system breaks down?
Now, before you think this is some doomsday prepper content, hear me out. We're not talking about the end of the world. We're talking about economic resilience. Whether it's another 2008-style crisis, hyperinflation, like we saw hints of in 2021-2022, or even just a personal financial emergency where you lose your job and income, understanding what truly holds value could save your life. By the end of this video, you'll know the three categories of real value that survive every economic crisis. You'll see real historical examples from American history, and you'll get actionable steps to build resilience starting this week. Whether you're worried about the economy, want to protect your family, or just want to be smarter about what real wealth means, this video is essential. Let's break this down. When money stopped working in America. Let's rewind to 1929. The stock market crashes. Banks fail by the thousands. Millions of Americans lose everything overnight. Suddenly, that paycheck from your factory job? Worthless. Your savings? Gone. The cash in your wallet? Can't buy bread because the stores are empty. During the Great Depression, Americans were forced to rediscover something our ancestors always knew. Money is just paper. Real value comes from three things: what you can do, what you can grow, and who you know. Here's what actually happened. People traded skills for food. A barber would cut hair in exchange for eggs from a farmer. A carpenter would fix someone's porch for a hot meal. A seamstress would mend clothes for firewood. Cash became secondary to actual goods and services. My own grandfather gave haircuts during the Depression. He wasn't a professional barber, he was just good with scissors. But that skill fed his family when money couldn't. Fast forward to Venezuela today. In Venezuela, hyperinflation destroyed their currency. A cup of coffee literally costs a wheelbarrow full of banknotes. So what did people do? They stopped using money. They started bartering. A doctor trades medical care for food. A mechanic fixes a car for clean water. Skills and goods replaced currency entirely. The pattern is clear. Throughout history, when money systems collapse, whether from inflation, bank failures, or economic depression, society doesn't end. It just shifts to what actually has value. And that brings us to the three categories that matter. Let's talk about the most important asset you have: what you know how to do. When money fails, skills become currency. Not your job title, not your degree, your actual, practical, hands-on abilities. The skills that always have value. According to research on barter economies, these skills top the list. Medical knowledge, first aid, wound care, basic health care. Food production, gardening, farming, preserving food. Mechanical repair, fixing cars, generators, appliances. Construction trades, carpentry, plumbing, electrical work. Textile skills, sewing, mending, making clothes. Water purification, making water safe to drink. Real-world example. During economic collapse, a person who can fix a broken generator isn't just useful, they're essential. That skill can be traded for food, shelter, medicine, or anything else they need. Here's the crazy part.
Most Americans have been trained to trade time for dollars at a job. But if those dollars become worthless, what do you have left? If you can't physically produce something or fix something or grow something, you have nothing to trade.
Common mistake people make. They think their white-collar job skills, Excel spreadsheets, PowerPoint presentations, marketing strategies, will have value. In a real crisis, nobody cares about your quarterly reports. They care if you can fix their water pump. What smart people do differently, they develop at least one practical, barterable skill before they need it. They learn to garden, learn basic carpentry, take a first aid course, learn to repair small engines.
Action step for beginners. This month, pick one practical skill and start learning it. YouTube has free tutorials on everything from basic plumbing to vegetable gardening to sewing. Invest 2 hours a week. In 6 months, you'll have a skill that could literally save your life. Have you ever thought about what skills you could actually trade if money stopped working? Comment below with what skill you think would be most valuable.
Point 2. Tangible goods become gold. Let's talk about physical items, the stuff you can hold, use, and trade. When currency collapses, certain goods become more valuable than money. These aren't luxury items or electronics, they're basics that people need to survive. The top barterable goods based on historical collapse scenarios. Food and water, specifically non-perishables like canned goods, rice, beans, salt. Water filtration systems, clean water is non-negotiable. Medical supplies, bandages, antiseptics, first aid items, basic medications. Hygiene products, toilet paper, soap, toothpaste, feminine products. Energy sources, batteries, fuel, candles, matches. Tools, hand tools that don't need electricity. Seeds, for growing food long-term.
Remember the toilet paper hoarding during COVID in 2020? That was a preview. When supply chains break down, even for a few weeks, basic goods become incredibly valuable. A single roll of toilet paper was selling for $10 plus on the black market in some places. The investment strategy. Financial advisors tell you to diversify your portfolio with stocks and bonds, but real preppers say diversify with stuff, physical goods that hold value no matter what happens to the dollar. Common mistake. People hoard luxury items or expensive electronics thinking they'll be valuable. Wrong. In a crisis, a bag of rice is worth more than a Rolex. Nobody cares about your designer shoes when they're hungry. What smart people do, they stockpile basic necessities, not just for themselves, but for trading. Extra canned goods, extra hygiene products, extra first aid supplies. These become barter currency when paper money fails.
Realistic scenario. Let's say you have 100 extra cans of beans stored. That's maybe $100 worth right now. But in a true economic collapse where food is scarce, those 100 cans could be traded for car repairs, medical care, clothing, or anything else you need. The value multiplies exponentially. Action step. Start building a barter pantry this week. Every time you go grocery shopping, buy 2-3 extra non-perishable items. In 6 months, you'll have a stockpile. Focus on canned vegetables, rice, beans, salt, coffee, toilet paper, soap, and basic first aid supplies. Does this sound familiar? Did you notice during COVID shortages how suddenly basic goods had more value than money? Let me know in the comments.
Point 3. Community is everything. Here's the most important truth. When money fails, your network is your net worth. You can have all the skills and all the goods in the world, but if you're isolated and alone, you're vulnerable. Community, real human relationships based on trust and mutual benefit, becomes the ultimate survival tool. Why community matters. In every economic collapse throughout history, the people who survived best weren't the richest or the most prepared.
They were the ones who were connected. During the Great Depression, neighborhoods formed informal barter networks. Someone had eggs, someone else had milk. Researchers found that communities came together to clean up and to help people with necessities. Spontaneous donation sites appeared. Neighbors helped neighbors. Community was the only thing that held value in all scenarios.
The hard truth. In a real crisis, being a lone wolf gets you killed. You can't be awake 24/7 to guard your supplies. You can't fix everything yourself. You can't grow enough food alone. You need other people. What smart communities do: form mutual aid networks before crisis hits. Share skills and teach each other. Create systems for trading goods and services. Build trust through small exchanges now. Look out for vulnerable members: elderly, disabled, children.
Real-world example. Venezuela's collapse showed this clearly. The people who survived weren't hoarding alone in bunkers. They were forming community trading networks, pooling resources, and helping each other survive. Common mistake: thinking you can prep your way to safety alone. You can't. Even the most prepared individual can't survive long-term without community. What smart people do differently? They invest in relationships now. They know their neighbors. They join local groups. They build trust and reciprocity before they need it. Action step. This week, introduce yourself to at least 3 neighbors you don't know yet. Start building those relationships. Join a local community garden, a church group, a volunteer organization, anywhere that builds real human connections. When crisis hits, these relationships become your lifeline. Most people don't realize this, but wealth isn't what's in your bank account. It's who you know and who trusts you. Comment below. Do you know your neighbors? Could you count on them in a crisis?
Build your 3-pillar resilience system. All right, let's get tactical. Here's your action plan. Pillar 1. Develop one barterable skill, 30 to 90 days. Choose from these high-value skills. Basic first aid. Take a Red Cross course. Vegetable gardening. Start a small garden this spring. Basic repair skills. Learn to fix bikes, small engines, plumbing. Food preservation. Canning, dehydrating, fermentation. Pillar 2. Build your barter stockpile, 30 to 90 days. Start small, build gradually. Month 1. Focus on food, 50 extra cans of vegetables, 25 pounds rice, 10 pounds beans. Month 2. Add hygiene, 50 rolls toilet paper, 20 bars soap, toothpaste. Month 3. Add medical, tools, comprehensive first aid kit, basic hand tools. Budget. Even $20 per week equals $240 in 3 months of stockpiled goods.
Pillar 3. Strengthen your community network. Ongoing. This week, introduce yourself to 3 neighbors. This month, join one local organization. This quarter, organize a neighborhood potluck or Skillshare event. Long-term, build trusted relationships with people who have different skills than you.
Long-term impact, 1 to 5 years. With these 3 pillars in place, you have skills to trade regardless of economic conditions. You have physical goods for emergencies or bartering. You have a support network that makes you resilient. You're prepared for job loss, economic crisis, or disasters. You've built real wealth that can't be inflated away. If this video changed how you think about real wealth and financial resilience, hit that like button. This is information that could literally save lives, so help us get it in front of more people. And if you want more content on financial preparedness, economic resilience, and practical survival strategies for real-world scenarios, subscribe and turn on notifications. Now, here's my challenge for you. Comment skills if you're going to learn a barterable skill this month. Comment goods if you're going to start building a barter stockpile. Comment community if you're going to strengthen your local connections. Also tell me, what skill do you think would be most valuable in a crisis? Gardening? Medical? Repair? Let's discuss in the comments. And tell me where you're watching from in the US. I'm curious which states are thinking about economic resilience.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where we're breaking down the signs that an economic crisis is coming and how to protect yourself before it hits. Stay prepared, stay smart. Peace.